Did y'all know that patient abuse and neglect is a crime? I don't mean a crime as in if it happens, then a family member, then the victim or a family member should sue the hospital or whatever the facility is, or the person that committed these crimes. I'm not talking about civil suits, okay? I'm talking about crime that is punishable by law in the court systems. As often as patients are neglected or abused in hospitals, nursing homes, home health cares, mental facilities, these cases need to be going to court. And I mean so that people can be punished criminally for their crimes. Now, I'm not talking about, before I go any further, I'm not talking about innocent mistakes, okay? I understand nobody's perfect. And these videos that I'm going to make has nothing to do with the nurses and the doctors and the other people in the healthcare system that get up and go out and hustle and do what they're supposed to do for their patients and to save their patients' lives. Okay? I'm not talking about those people who really want to help their patients. I'm talking about the healthcare workers that are like a woman named Linda Brickson. And I'm saying her name because in later videos, I'm going to be showing you documents that has her name on it. Public documents, by the way, not private, public documents. Okay? So if her name is on these public documents, then I should be able to say it here without any fear of retribution. Okay? So let's get back to the topic. Patient abuse and neglect is a crime in all 50 states. Okay? But you need to look up the laws where you live. Look up the laws in your state. Put in patient abuse laws and then whatever your state is and read about them. Because what happened to my daughter can happen to you, your daughter, your baby, your parent, your grandparent, your loved one, your friend, okay, your dog even. It can happen. What happened to my daughter, Keisha White, is not an isolated incident. There are many Keisha Whites out there, and there are many Linda Bricksons out there. Linda Brickson, the nurse that was in charge of my daughter's care when she died. Okay, so let's get back to the patient and abuse and neglect that is illegal in every state. Now, most people think when a family member or themselves have been a victim of patient abuse and neglect, okay, we should sue, and you should. Okay, you should, but how come we don't hear about these cases in the court of law? How come they're not in the news? Every now and again, they'll throw us one. And most of the time, it's because somebody has video footage. Every other form of abuse is punishable in the court of law. Child abuse, spousal abuse, elderly abuse, animal abuse, and neglect. Why don't we hear more about patient abuse? Like I said before, it's not an isolated incident. But for whatever reason, these crimes are not being punished. But they are crimes. Now some of the lower level incidents might only be a misdemeanor. But if the patient died, that's a felony. If the patient died as a result of somebody's incompetence, as somebody's mistake is not even a good word to say there. An honest mistake, I'm not going to say that that healthcare worker should be punished. Even though you have people that go out here in vehicles and make honest mistakes and kill someone. From what I understand, they're usually charged with vehicular manslaughter or something similar. Look, I am not trying to take away anything from the types of neglect that does go through the court system. If somebody starves a dog to death, yes, that somebody should be held accountable. And I have to say that because at the same time, my daughter was a person, my daughter was a human being, and animals get more justice in the court system than patients, than people. And again, like I said, this is not to make light of animal abuse. Cruelty is cruelty. In the state of North Carolina, I once read where somebody was prosecuted for abuse to a chicken, an $8 chicken. In the state of North Carolina, somebody was prosecuted for leaving a fish behind when they were evicted from their apartment. Google it for animal abuse. So I'm saying that how is it that a chicken and a fish has more value in the court system than my daughter? Patient abuse and neglect is a crime, and it should be punishable in the court of law because it's on the law books. Somebody wrote it. Somebody wrote it as a crime. If the death of a patient is due to the negligence, in other words, if it wasn't for the abuse or the negligence that that patient suffered, they would not have died, or at least not in that manner. So the law says that the patient abuse and neglect has to be a proximate cause. That's the but/for, okay? But this happened. If it wasn't for that happening, now that's when you get up to the highest punishment for patient abuse and neglect. Now in the state of North Carolina, that's a Class C felony, which is equal to manslaughter or third-degree murder or something similar in the state that you live in. But again, what happened to my daughter, and we're going to be getting into all that in other videos, but with what happened to my daughter, I believe that the nurse should be charged with second-degree murder, if not first degree. And again, I'm going to put all that out there in other videos, so hit whatever button you need to hit, wherever it's at. I'm not sure if it's down here, if it's up here, if, wherever it is, the subscribe, the follow, the share, the whatever it is, because I promise you, you're not going to want to miss this series. I'm talking to you because you can be me at any given moment.